but we're worth so much more. And we are giving people the gift of communication. Isn't that a priceless gift? Because it's a gift that we use all the time. Okay, I was listening to a mentor talking to me yesterday about opportunities. And the thing is, when we think about the opportunity of setting up our own business, we often think of all the things that go wrong. We just think that this could, we could end up not making enough money, or we could end up not having enough clients, or we could end up not being able to pay our bills. And we think about all the negatives. But if you don't take the opportunity, then actually it's an automatic failure. If you were to think about all the things that are possible, you think about getting more clients and charging them a rate where you are valued, where you actually, you're not charging like 25 euros an hour, like I was talking to one guy today, charging that, he's got so much expertise. Why charge that when you could charge so much more for your services? Why charge? I know this is all controversial. We don't like talking about paying, but you see, as speech language therapists, for instance, we are perpetuating this myth, I suppose, that we're not worth very much. We can charge our services at 35 pounds an hour or something ridiculous for a teletherapy company. But we're worth so much more. And we are giving people the gift of communication. Isn't that a priceless gift? Because it's a gift that we use all the time. So I wanted to say about this, grabbing the opportunity, setting up your own business, feeling confident that you can do this, and seeing it as an opportunity where you can actually charge more, work less hours, still pay the bills, and still spend time with your kids and your family and do the things that you love. That's an opportunity. But if you don't take the opportunity, it actually is an automatic fail. And we can make all sorts of excuses, but really that's just fear speaking. We are procrastinating, thinking, well, I'll do it when I retire. Or we think, well, I'm not good enough, the kind of imposter syndrome that people have. Or it might be just laziness, thinking, oh, it seems about too much effort. I've got to put up a landing page, or I've got to create this website, and I've got to do this checkout page, or I've got to create this particular service, or whatever it is. We make these excuses, we have these to-do lists, and we think, oh, it's all too much to do. And that's actually fear that is talking. But it's okay that you fear, because this fear is like really quite subtle, but it stops us from actually giving to the world what our gifts are. And in a way, that's quite selfish. If I was to say, well, I could teach you how to create a business, but I'm just going to keep it to myself, I think that's really selfish. And so every time you think of things that are getting in the way, like you're thinking, well, I've got to set up a website for this new business, and you feel the fear, or every time that you think, well, I've got to go live and I've got to tell people about a particular technique that I've got, and I could help their child or their adult with this particular technique, and you don't do it because I don't want to show myself live, that fear of being visible, that's fear, isn't it? And it's all really the inner game. It's all in us that we've got to sort out. It's like the mindset, really. So when you overcome that fear and you have the right tools to overcome it, then you can take action. I'm going to be honest with you. I felt all those things that you're probably feeling about setting up your own business. But if I didn't do it, I wouldn't be able to provide this new service, this new coaching service that I want to provide therapists and coaches all over the world. And I'm just so proud that within 4 weeks, I've created this website, and I just want to show it to you now. So let's show it to you. And while you're looking at that, I want you to think about what is holding you back. Why are you afraid? And how can you change that round? Because look, this is my website, and it's called Maven Business Haven, and I created it for like-minded therapists and coaches on a mission. I want to get you guys all together you've got to share your dream, whatever that dream is. We all have dreams. Maybe you want to, maybe you're a coach, a nutrition coach, and you want to help women who are in their 40s who are struggling to get rid of their flab or their tummy or whatever it is, and you have a certain technique and you want to share that with people. It's worked for you, it's worked for your other clients that you've seen, and you want to share that. Or maybe you're a physiotherapist and you have a particular technique that will help people who have just had a stroke to become more mobile. I don't know what it is, but every single one of you has a gift. And one of my gifts is to be able to share with people the gift of setting up their own online practice, their own coaching business, and making it profitable. And to be able to have the confidence to share, to ask for a price that you're worth, because you are worth a lot more than you're currently getting paid working for someone else. So this is what you get. I want to share with you here. You get monthly business classes. You get therapy classes as well in the portal. Every month you come on and you set your goals, and we meet together and we inspire and we motivate each other so that we can get things done. Because then we can't use those excuses like, oh, it looks all too much, I'm not doing it. If we had someone that we were accountable to and someone who inspires us once a month, and we say we're going to do X, Y, and Z, and it gets done, because next month you'll meet up with those people and they'll ask you, did you do X, Y, and Z? And it's really good to be able to set goals into chunks so that you do get X, Y, and Z done. And then to feel you're part of a community, that you're part of a community of like-minded therapists and coaches, and you're not feeling alone. Because let's face it, this entrepreneurial journey is really lonely. I mean, I actually quite like spending quite a lot of time myself on my own creating things, but not everyone's like that. And, we all have our doubts and our fears, and it's good to be able to talk to others and to say, I'm really struggling with this and I just don't know how to move forward. Or maybe it's just like, I just feel like I've stopped and I've reached a brick wall or something, and I just don't know how to move past it. And to have someone to say, look, have you thought of doing this or that? This worked for me. So getting an accountability partner is really useful. And I would really recommend that, because I've had that in the past and that's moved me forward. And also, what you do with an accountability partner is in a one-to-one situation, you could say, look, I'm struggling with this thing, or I'm thinking of doing this, but I don't know how to do that. And they could give you ideas. You can give them ideas on their things, and then you meet up and regularly, and you can say, well, how are you getting on, and encourage one another. Because I think so much of the time we think that we are in competition with these other therapists, but if we could just be there for one another and support one another, encourage one another, and not feel that we're in competition, but we're actually in collaboration, that would be so amazing, wouldn't it? So that's what I'm trying to create here, to have a tribe of therapists and coaches that have the same vision. the same vision of reaching others around the world, sharing their challenges, but also sharing their wins, not being embarrassed to talk about money, you know, not being embarrassed about talking about the things that we've achieved. You know, it's not bragging, it's just sharing and being open really about what we are able to do, and to motivate and inspire one another. So when you become a member, which you go here, this is how it works. Okay, you can access any of these things. So you say, if I wanted to go to the all masterclasses, I go here, I click on here, and I've got experts already that have provided us with resources. Okay, so for example, Shawnee Rose, she's done a fantastic masterclass here on productivity, increasing your productivity through strategic systems. And so you click here, and she's done 3 videos, and you can watch these videos.
Hello and welcome to the Set Your Goals in Motion Masterclass. I'm Shawnee. I'm the founder.
And this one,
goals can be overwhelming.
Putting them into digestible chunks, small actions, turning your big dreams into small actions. And this one,
easily the most,
it's about the kind of best practices so that you can stay motivated and achieving your goals. And she's even done a workbook, so you can get the workbook and try it out here. So you can see that within this masterclass, you're getting so much. But, you know, if you don't get through that, it doesn't matter. You can also tap into other things. Maybe you're not interested in productivity. Maybe you're interested in social media basics with Carrie Baxter, and you click into here. And here Carrie has got the basics there. She's even got a workbook that you can go through. So I've used Carrie to help me with my social media as well, planning. And, you know, it's amazing what the people that, I'm not an expert in social media, so I go and get an expert to help me out. And, you know, you'd pay hundreds and thousands for an expert like this. But there are so many different experts that are around the world who are willing to help you out. So for example, Melanie Wood here, she's an international speaker, maybe you, and a best-selling author, and maybe you want to become a speaker and an author, and you're thinking, well, how do I do that? And she goes through a masterclass here about speaking confidently. Or maybe you're thinking, right, if I set up my own business, I've got to get my bookkeeping ready, and I just don't know what to do. I don't know where to start. Well, this is the ideal course for you here. It's not, you know, it's not a huge course, but Karina's going to take you through the basics of how to get yourself organized, what you could claim for legally, so that you don't get done by your tax office, your local, wherever you are in the world. And then I've got even Becca Klein here. Now, Becca is a blogging expert, and she's based in America, and she talks about how you can turn your blog into something that's profitable. And she also talks about creating an evergreen webinar where it's always on. Evergreen means that your webinar is always on, people listen to it, and then they buy whatever course or resource that you are selling. So that's a really good masterclass to go on. And then we've got therapy masterclasses as well. So I've put in various masterclasses in here. For example, the 6 steps to clear speech. So if you're working with a child who's got unclear speech, and you're thinking, well, how do I take them through these to get clear speech step by step, you know, what's the process? Then you can just click on here. You'll get access to the course, and you can see all the modules in here. Okay, so you can just, you know, click on there and watch them. And, you know, it's just amazing what you can do in such a short space of time. Okay, so what I wanted to share with you, let me just go back to the beginning. So you can see there are other masterclasses here on how to make your own vocabulary assessment from scratch. Maybe there is a particular thing that you want to create for your clients online, and then maybe you want to sell it to them or sell it to other therapists or other experts. Then I will show you how to do that. Now, these are just the beginning, because every month I'll be adding to it. But not only that, every month we will be meeting once a month to be talking about goal setting. Now, if we don't have goals, then we're not going to be able to move forward. And the part of goal setting is that we have a workbook. I've created a workbook for you guys. So you download the workbook every month, you print it off, and then you come to the Zoom meeting and we talk about the goals that you want to set. We have some time of setting those goals and making them intentional. And then also once a month, there is a live Q&A. You can ask me any question about whatever the topic it is, and I'll be there. You could submit your questions in advance, come to the Zoom room, and then we can talk about it. So I hope that you can see the value of that. I hope you loved this episode of Women in Action podcast, and if you want more help and support to grow a successful private practice, then head over to teletherapyinaction.com/resources, where you will find our freebies and so much good stuff. And I will see you next week for the next episode of Women in Action.